back of that Range Life show, sometimes about golf. Kris McEwen.
Hey, man.
What's up? What's up, man? How are you? That good.
That good. I'm great. I'm good. Swell. Coming off a fun weekend. Went down to your alma mater. Saw the kid. And did the grocery shopping and things. Something occurred to me. I was talking to my wife about it tonight. Their level of awareness around, at least, my kids and their friends, it seems, their level of awareness around healthy eating is like so far ahead of where I imagine you and I were when we were, 20, 21 years old. It's quite impressive. It's really something how that is really something that matters to them. I won't even get into the environment and their awareness of that and specific foods that are good or bad or whatever. But man, they are just light years ahead of where I was when I was that age, around just caring about that stuff.
Did you ever see the remake of 21 Jump Street?
No, I did not. I try to stay away from anything with, what's his name? Channing Tatum involved in it. I'm good.
I mean, I can't lie. I did enjoy it, but it was sort of the theme, right? They were going back to college undercover, and we're playing off of like the classes and stereotypes from their day coming out of college, but how much it had changed. And it was they were more like hippie-ish and environment forward and conscious of these things. And so it's like, I believe that is totally what's happening right now. Yeah. And in a way, it's good to hear. Hopefully,
if anyone's going to save us, I guess it's going to be that generation. I mean,
hopefully it's not our predecessors, if you will, that didn't do too much irreversible damage.
Well, I'm your predecessor, my predecessors,
but I think even more than yours. Like,
true.
That's why I said our predecessors, like both of ours.
That's fair. Yeah, but yeah, even I just happened to mention that this house. I was going to say my wife again, but I already used that. But we've moved away from like cow's milk. We're now doing oat milk and almond milk. And I mentioned that to my daughter, and she was like, "Dad, almond milk is so bad for you. It takes so much water to make almond milk." And I'm like, I thought I was doing a good thing. Like, like I'm being healthy or whatever. But yeah, she put the kibosh on.
Well, isn't that right? The whole thing, like
milk.
Soy milk and soy sauce, all the soy products that they're finding out have been so bad for the environment, way more than they even realize, and how bad it destroys. So it's like you're basically left with coconut milk and like water.
I'll tell you this: if for those looking at it, I doubt anyone watching this is looking for an alternative to cow's milk. But if you are, oat milk, it performs pretty well in terms of, we use it in our creamer and for baking and things. Like, it's a good, that's why baristas love it, because it foams well and it has the consistency of traditional milk.
Felt like, so, man,
you're welcome, everybody.
You're stopping
this is
in
the first
for
time to the show.
Sometimes golf, sometimes basic bitch podcast / YouTube show. You found it. That's us. Anyway,
sometimes I live up to my neighborhood.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, that's Kris McEwen over there on Bill Bush, DriveRangeHeroes.com, at Range Heroes on social medias. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget, if you're listening to this podcast, make sure you leave us a review. Maybe shoot us 5 stars. That'd be great. If you're watching this on YouTube, go down below, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified that more of our videos are coming up. Hey, golf season's breaking here. It's breaking.
Here we go.
The content will start rolling. So get that bell going. All right.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
I know you're in a new situation here with the mic.
I have a problem.
Maybe keep it away from your mouth a little bit more.
I'm trying. Just doing this,
Easy.
Good catch. I told you I was going to go with the lav setup, but I don't know.
You're just a little hot. You're a little hot.
107 episodes, 107 episodes. And I feel like every 13 or so we go through, this is very repeatable. It's the same damn thing every week. Yet the cameras don't act right. The microphones don't act right. I have no idea. We talked a few episodes ago about moving into our new desks. I've had this set up now literally for months. I have something creating a massive buzz in the microphone through the stand, and I'd like shock mount wouldn't help it if I had one. So I ordered a new mic stand and everything before the mics went hot here. It's mind blowing. But I'll do my best.
You were going to do the call to action stuff before I interrupted you.
No, I finished the call to action stuff. Call to action. Do it, guys. Speaking of, it's a great segue. My situation's bad, and I've been watching our show for a long time, kind of. And I watch other shows because I'm a golf internet guy.
You are.
I'm thinking of changing the stew setup for our remote shows. Hopefully we aren't going to be doing too many of these talking head shows in the coming months as maybe some new partnerships are forming and we can get outside and do different things. But in the meantime, I'm thinking about, I have no idea what, and this started with me dreaming about you and I having some sort of compound for that Range Life Productions. And the reason go this even further, I was watching like Outdoors channel on YouTube, and they had a compound for like their merchandise where they get ready to go out hunting and like a lounge in it, and they were playing bags in this thing. I'm like, they can do they do content there, they can do everything. I was like, God, it'd just be so nice if we got just like a shitty little warehouse for $20 a month. And
if anyone out there in the Chicagoland area has something like that they would like to give us, we'll give you free usage of the simulator that we get installed there,
and that you're probably going to have to chip in and help pay for. Thank you. But I don't know what, but I think I'm going to change my setup. We'll see, but that crossed my mind. All right, let's get into the topics.
Yeah. Let's talk some stuff about some.
You want to talk about the Saudi Golf League? I don't think the internet's covered that enough.
I'm afraid if we talk about it, people like I know even there's a couple things. One, inundated. It was a big, huge deal, right? Flooding the world of golf Twitter. I'm still curious to see. We need to pull like our non-golf Twitter brethren out there, like the Riv and probably Grant. I don't know how involved he is or aware of it.
Intern Grant played golf today at St. Andrews Golf Club. By the way,
it was a good day, 45 degrees. But like how aware people are outside of our little bubble, because we always talk about that. Like golf Twitter is like a 0.1%. Like I wonder if Scotty out there is aware of it, or the people that I go and play golf with in Arizona. Like I don't think there's any awareness whatsoever that this whole thing. I mean, think about the person that broke the news, basically Alan Shipnuck, or Alan Shipnuck. Whatever.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Sorry, Alan. Love you, man. You're the best. But it was on, the Fire Pit Collective, which is a very, very niche-y sort of thing. Yeah. Even with Janela running it, I just don't know. I don't think it got a lot of, maybe Golf Digest. I think Golf Digest, or no, ESPN covered it a little bit for a minute.
Yeah.
But I still don't know what awareness of it. And my other thing was it changed. Like, I think it's dead now. I think the Saudi League is dead.
Is it? Because they're already targeting such a small amount of people. And I feel like, again, whoever coined it, the pre-champions tour, there's still plenty of pre-champions people who they could just go, hey, here's $42 million, come play here. And I don't know if you saw Pat. By the way, when I brought this up, I thought for sure we'd just go, no, I'm so sick of talking about it because I'm tired of talking about it. I know I've been saying it for weeks, but I opened the Drive Range Heroes Twitter at this point basically to make sure our posts and everything are going. And if I have to like something, or I saw, I don't even know how. I think it was a group text, but I go, all right, well, I'm going to go retweet Adam Unfiltered Secret Tour Pro Series because he's my friend and I care about. I care about it.
Who's serious?
I'm you know what I mean. I'm looking for trouble right now. Point is, I stay out of golf Twitter.
Yeah.
As much as possible now. And it's like, I know there's like the mute function in it, but let's be honest, if I tried to mute anything related to Saudi Golf League, there'd just be nothing. So I've given up on even logging into it. I don't look at it. Now, unfortunately, it's like if you weren't if that was like a political charged topic you weren't into, go into your regular Twitter and it's all about Ukraine and Russia right now. So social media is awesome.
It's really
but I just the Saudi Golf League topic. But all right, so to your point, is it dead? And I think who cares? But yeah, it seems like it. And Pat Perez had a lot of interesting comments where he's like, look, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, if they came in through $100 million at me, yeah, I'm going to go for 1 year. Like I'm going to. Right. That's think about what that can do. And I mean, it's easy we talked about 2 shows ago or whatever. It's easy for us to sit here and be like, yeah, the politics involved in it and the life, whatever. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of your family. $100
million. Yeah, it's tough.
$100 million. Pat Perez is not the president of the United States of America, you know? So I can't tell you, I don't understand where he would say that, but he's like, but in the meantime, I'm perfectly happy over here. I have it pretty good. And he said something about playing for peanuts. He's like, those peanuts happen to pay quite a bit though.
Right. Right.
So I think it seems like if it's dead enough, but maybe you do see Pat Perez again even said the guys like Rose, Scott, Poulter, Westwood, who had good careers, but they are on the back end. They aren't keeping up with the younger crowd, the Thomases and Morikawas and whatever coming through. So yeah, I'd be hard pressed to think it's totally dead, but I
guess they may try to do something, but after Phil went scorched earth in that Shipnuck piece, then
it's it's weird, isn't it?
It was crazy to read.
And he said so many critical things of the Saudis and the Saudi Golf League, but then like it's just such a I don't know. I almost can't like put it into words. It's such a weird. He's all over the place. It's just like a cyclone of chaos that only Phil can be capable of. And someone said he's like, I wish I could remember who said it, but it's like it's typical Phil. He's just an expert on everything, and just wants to hear himself talk, but it doesn't make any sense. So the Saudi Golf League things.
I think it's going to be a footnote in the history of golf, probably golf Twitter. I don't even think I don't think they'll play. I'm going to say it now. Here's my prediction. Everyone on record. I don't think the Super Golf League, that's what it's called, will ever play a round of competitive golf.
All the shade that Greg Norman's received, and I'm not pro Greg Norman by any means, but like I don't have the hate that everybody has for him, but the various bits and jokes that people have made about Greg Norman and his involvement have been very funny to me. Good. Something about
I think that's funny. We should talk about that one. Like I would never I think rooting against someone, another human being, is silly as an adult.
Yeah.
Hating another athlete or whatever. Like I know people will say like, oh, I hate Bryson DeChambeau. Like why? What a waste of effort.
Yeah. Right.
Of all things. Like he's a sports ball guy. Who cares? Like you can eliminate that person from your life entirely if you want.
Much like the people who live and die with, I don't know, the Chicago Blackhawks, and look at you and me now.
Right. Exactly.
Side note, shout out Chicago Blackhawks finally cutting ties with Bobby Hull today.
Oh my God. Was that supposed to be guys, why were you ever involved with that dude in the first place?
Well,
I guess that should have been the first
read one thing, and it's like 1987. There was this incident there. I mean, there have been tons of them over the years. It's well documented that the kids had no relationship. That like really him and Brett only reconciled in like the last decade. And then every kid like me who grew up playing hockey, especially in the Chicagoland area, has encountered Bobby Hull and probably has some story of him being a creep to their underage sister.
Right. Either he's drunk as could possibly be, and that, or a combination of it.
Yeah. So that's,
the guy's got major issues, but yes, you're right. That was long overdue.
Yeah. So,
anyways,
I think it's, I think that you're right. The hating of like, it has no bearing on my life. I don't play for the team. I'm not employed by the team. Much like I don't make a paycheck because of Bryson or whatever. Right. But so like, that's the thing. I don't hate Greg Norman by any means, and I don't wish him to fail at life. But one of the jokes, something like about how he always like fails on Sundays and stuff. I don't know. Just really, there have really been some great ricochet shots thrown at him, fair or not. They've been funny.
And that's not to say like I don't like some of I don't like Greg Norman. But yeah, I'm not going to spend time and effort like actively hating some dude. Or
you probably didn't have the right awareness for it at the right time, but I will say the 80s 90s shark branding though maybe some of the best of all time. Like there is nothing cooler than the black shark.
Careful, you're gonna start getting Adam sending you postmark vintage shark stuff to our group chat.
Yeah, seriously. And it's like I feel like I'm not a big contemporary shark brand, but man, 1994, the shark hat, man.
I mean, he was ahead of his time with that stuff though.
Yeah.
Really, he was, it's
awesome.
Big deal.
Shout out to that for Greg Norman. All right.
Anyways,
speaking of tired topics, Oakland Hills, that was something, huh? The clubhouse burnt down.
That was something. Again, I wonder who is aware of it and who is not. Because at one point, I do believe my entire Twitter thread was Oakland Hills on fire.
We played there. Myself, John Heisey, and Brian Tweed played there last September.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, by chance, does anybody have like a picture of the clubhouse from that trip? Or maybe like the three of us or anything? All of us said no. Because all of us, like, I just figured we had plans to go back next summer and play the other course, so I just didn't worry about it. Whoops. So we don't have that, but that happened, and I'm just gonna say I'm gonna say this one thing. I think we should just move on and not get into it.
Say tread lightly when you talk about
the tragedy of it all, and everybody's safe. No one died. No one got hurt.
Right.
That is why I can say I feel like what I'm gonna say and everyone can take it easy. The art, the artifacts, the irreplaceable things that were lost. And I read, something that 1% of the population was able to appreciate and can afford alternatives to replace, that 99%, actually more of the population will never ever see in their lifetime.
Right. Didn't know it existed, would never see it, and will never see it.
Let's put things into perspective. All right.
Amen.
Good luck rebuilding the clubhouse. I hope I plan on going back there someday, so I hope it's a lovely experience. All right. So, hey, real golf. You and I made a return to X Golf and
becoming our favorite little locale, our favorite little meeting spot.
It is lovely, and
it's a great, like, legitimately, it's a great suburbs Chicago sort of meetup.
Yeah, easy to get to from the city with 88 right there.
30 minutes.
If you're into the whole Cermak, Butterfield, 56, whatever combo of that you like route, that's a option. There's so many things. Hey, one thing I keep forgetting to bring up about X Golf,
Yeah.
There's a place right there called Flavor Chem.
Okay.
It is 24/7 operation that does like artificial flavoring for stuff. So my dad used to have his office, I mean, decades ago at this point, used to be in a business park over there. And there are days you'll like step out and it'll be just the most beautiful like strawberry smell you've ever smelled in the air, or vanilla or whatever.
If you ever come down here into my neighborhood, I think Adam and his wife experienced it when they came down for dinner that one night. Blomers. Yeah. Because we're 2 blocks from Blomers, which is a literal chocolate factory. And so when the wind's blowing, whatever, west to east, or even a little south to north, I mean, our entire neighborhood smells like chocolate.
Well, my train would wrap around there every day in the city. Remember when they had that big fire, maybe like 7 years ago? Yeah,
I do remember that.
Yeah, that place was nuts. And then you're like, how does this even still exist in this location of Chicago?
In that neighborhood? I know, yeah. The true tragedy, one of the very many sacrifices that we've made, through the pandemic, is that they closed their little store in the factory because, the Jewels is right across the street from Blomers. Yeah. So we would go get our groceries, because we walked to the grocery store, get our groceries. On the way back, we'd stop into the store and, grab some chocolate goodness. But
as you should. As you should. So anyway, Flavor Chem, we have to appreciate that when we're at X Golf next time. What I appreciate about X Golf, we went there. We thought it was like a fairly benign evening. And then I get a text message that to be careful because there's a winter squall.
That's right. That's right.
What the hell is a winter squall?
I had no idea that was there was a squall of winter.
Sure enough, we looked out through the glass doors and it looked like the seas were angry and whipping around the ship, but it was snow in a parking lot. And apparently, because it's so, one thing I'll say, X Golf, it's so goddamn loud in that place. I'm all for the loud music, but then there's like, I'm not seeing the Beatles at Shea Stadium. Let's take it easy. But my wife said,
I'm the old one, everyone.
Well, and that's what I say. I like an ambiance, but man, anyway, she said from our house, like, she's like, you should have heard it. It was insane how loud and crazy the wind was the whole time. So I feel like we kind of missed out on that experience, but the experience we did have was some great competitive golf.
I will tell you what.
We went and played international. We played at the played the Evian Masters in France, I believe. Was it? Now that I said it was France. It's France, right? It's not like Switzerland, right?
No, I believe it's France. Someone tell us if we're wrong. Tell us, comment below. Tell us where
it's in Europe. It's fun to watch the LPGA play there every year. Yeah. Here's the thing, Chris.
Okay. Yeah.
What I can confirm to you, playing that event, you and I got really good at golf over the winter. They're pretty much scratch golfers.
It's true. I don't know. I can't explain it. We hit the ball a mile. It goes straight. I do want to, here's what I said this too. Like, we're going to do a thing. Well, I won't talk about what, but an outdoor version of X Golf, and see how it goes. I think I mentioned it to you when we were playing, but yeah, I mean, whatever. I'm hitting the ball 300 yards. You're hitting it 320 off the tee. No big deal. Driver wedge into every hole.
Making eagle putts.
Right. Making eagle putts. The best eagle putt. Bill, I got to tell you, I love a good Bill Bush fist pump. I think the internet, Instagram, Instagram certainly loves it. Or Instagram loves a Bill Bush fist bump. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me, because you will get the beauty of a sweet ass Bill Bush fist bump.
I'm not going to comment on it either, because I don't want the magic to be lost. And because we talked about that there, like how if you're not there and if you don't know me, like,
right.
So I'm just going to leave it. Let's get the vibe right. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, anyways,
you and I we're very serious. That's why we're so good at it.
Right. We take, I mean, if you're going to a simulated golf place to screw around, I mean, come on.
It's not.
Get your life together.
You certainly are not welcome with us,
right?
And you will not fit in. You won't.
Right.
We don't talk about anything other. We really don't even talk. That's how competitive our matches get.
Yeah,
other than kind of like
we keep our distance.
Yeah, I mean it's nice, especially because I mean it's prepared. You could bring 8 people for one simulator, and
it's true.
We go the 2 of us, and you get these giant couches that are. I mean, one of those couches is probably a third the size of my house. And so we sit on opposite ends of them. The only way we know what club each other hits is when you have to go and like select. If you don't want to hit the one that auto selects for you, select which one you're going to hit. So it reads it correctly. But,
right.
Yeah, we don't even talk. That's how serious we take it. Right. And then,
unless it's about Dawson's Creek.
That I was going to say, but there is one topic we can't resist. And if people think we save it for this show. We were there, 2 hours Friday night?
Correct.
I would venture to say we spent at least half of it discussing Dawson's Creek. And I want to say we were both, you might have just started. We were on a hiatus because we were watching another show. And then we picked it back up. And we still talked about it for that long.
Right. So if you think, Scoob, who's out there, if you think we talk about Dawson's Creek a lot here, I mean, when the cameras aren't on and the mics aren't hot, you should hear us. I mean, it's just,
way more passionate about it.
Right. It's a full blown. I mean, we are just deconstructing plot lines and character development.
Here we assume there are people who haven't watch it, aren't as familiar, whatever. So, we try to neutralize it a bit, but we know with the 2 of us, and I wouldn't say it gets heated. It's not like even when we disagree, we're very much on the same page and appreciate each other's fandom and support of the program. But, I mean, it's up there in like top 3 things I think we care about in life.
I think it's like 90s indie stuff, indie music. It's a very, you're kind of an old soul because you come into my generation, thanks to your sister, probably, her influence. But, we talk about the songs that were coming on once we got the music changed, were was exactly what we wanted, including the intro to the podcast. The intro song to the podcast came on, which was like the sweetest thing in the world. But yeah, and then it's, 90s teenage dramas.
Angst.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
So Creek Talk. One last thing about our indoor golf.
Okay.
I do want to point out, God, though I'm scratch, God, I suck at hitting off of mats.
You do struggle with that.
It indoors. I can't figure it out. It's the weirdest thing. Like Shank City out of nowhere. And then, of course, I figure it out and I go, here's how I won't shank it. And so I just yank it 270 degrees to the left.
Right.
It's absurd. So
we do need to do like a true vlog at X Golf, I think, so people can see it in real life. Just how great we are at simulator golf. You did have a chance. We ended up tying. We both shot a 74.
Yeah.
You had a chance to win.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I did. You're right.
You had a chance to win it. It lipped out. Very dramatic. But
it's
you rallied.
19 foot putt.
Yeah.
And just wrapped around that damn thing.
It's true. And you rallied because you doubled the first.
I think I tripled the first.
Did you triple? Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was one of those shank, tree.
No, that's the thing. It wasn't. It was around the green with that, the rough. It's 80%, and you're just hitting it clean off of a mat. You're not like feeling the element.
Right.
So it's like, how do you calculate your distance? And I was like back and forthing across the green.
Oh, okay. That's that hole. But you had another blow up hole that was like, remember you hit the tree, because you were you were in the long grass. You hit a tree, and you were still in the long grass, and you
hit the exact same shot a second. No, I didn't punch out. I hit the exact same shot the second time because I didn't know what else to do. And you had one the previous time we went where you're like, I'm just gonna keep banging away, and you hit like the same shot 6 times, and it finally came out. So I figured that's what I'd be doing. I hit the exact same shot the second time. Well, that one went, and I stuck it to like 6 feet. Not 6 because I hit 11 feet. I don't know. Whatever. You get the point.
Whatever it was. Yeah. But yeah, you rallied to come back and catch up to me. So bully for you.
Bully for me. I don't know if you have this issue.
I gotta say though, a Friday night meetup right there is like, I'm into it. Late night Friday night meetup.
Just what the doctor ordered. Well, and I said to you, I think even in season, because there's some weekends where it's like I can't get away and play real golf. But hey, if you guys want to do something late Friday night and they're open, hell yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Which I have a feeling those places could do well, where it's like, hey, played golf during the day, go drink beers and play golf with the buddies at night. Like, so we'll see. I'll be interested to see what that place is really like in the summer.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Do you have this issue? So I had to stop playing men's league hockey largely because, which in a lot of ways says a lot, and probably my health would be appreciative if I didn't stop playing it. But at the same time, concussions, broken arms, who cares?
Right.
But one of the big reasons as I was getting older, it's like coming home, getting home at midnight and your blood's just boiling. So you can't fall asleep till 2-3 in the morning anyway. I just couldn't do it, especially with kids and my job. I couldn't do it anymore, kind of a thing. Yeah. And I'm noticing now that we're doing this, it's not like it's super hard on you to play a simulator golf for 2 hours, but the like being awake, aware, and doing something, doing an activity is enough to make you go, well, I'm up and at 'em. So when I go home at 11, it's like, I'm up for the next 2 hours. There's no going, just like laying in bed going, well, it's midnight, I better go to sleep. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. It takes me at least an hour to wind down at minimum. So it's either a Dawson's episode with with bourbon to put me down, or like 1 or 2 or 3 Always Sunnies. Can you not mess with the mic so much, William?
I'm trying not to. Yeah. This is not great. I'm apologizing to you, and I was even thinking as I was sitting here with the mic, and I saw like my picture up in the corner and the thing waving around like crazy. The apology I owe at the end of the show to everybody for being patient and sticking with it, yourself included. I'm genuinely sorry. I really, really am. And now it's almost like I've been even looking around like, what could I quickly do as an alternative? And there's just nothing. It just is what it is. It's that range life difference, folks.
That's right. It gives you a feeling that we're not too good for anybody, because we have mic noise. Right. Anyways, what's next? X golf is great. I really like playing. I can't wait to rematch again and not talk to you for 2.5 hours, except when we discuss Joey Potter
and pace. Speaking of Joey Potter and pace, should we do TV talk?
Sure. We did a good 30 minutes of sort of golf talk.
Yeah, just rambling as always.
Milk and golf talk.
You come to that range like for your milk and golf talk. Everybody knows that.
Right. Especially during the off season of golf, when we're tired of talking about the same things you're tired of hearing about.
Correct.
Quite honestly. You want to hear more about Saudi Golf League. I don't know. Fine. Go find it.
And you're like, please guys, keep talking about Dawson's Creek. Aside from Mitch Lawrence, I think everybody wants to kill us for this topic. Shut up. Mitch giving us the proof, like, hey, keep it up, boys. We will. We'll keep doing it for you, Mitch.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're both on season 5 of The Creek.
We are.
As pointed out to me, it's kind of funny. Sarah, my wife, says
it's a lot of my wives tonight.
There's just something about the way Joey says pace. It's not even like the call him pace.
Why do you guys hate Joey so much? Stop hating on Joey.
It's how it comes out of her mouth. Just pace. I can't even recreate it, but it's like it's nails on a chalkboard ish. Hey, did you get to the episode where she sings again yet?
No, I have not.
I'm sorry to ruin that for you, but
I can't wait.
Yeah, so that is one thing that's out. But speaking of pace, we talked about this a little bit at X Golf. Pace.
We're not kidding, guys. We talked about it.
We did. Yeah. He really found his stride in season 5. And I started to think, and I could have looked it up and I didn't. But do you think this might have been right around when Skull and Bones came out? And he was Hollywood Jackson now?
Oh, boy. That could be.
I wonder if it was.
Look that up. Yeah. Skull and Bones is a big deal. For those that don't know, it's a movie. And
I think when we're done with, we've mentioned it in earlier episodes, but I think when we're done with Dawson's Creek, I think I'm going to go back and watch it because it was a good movie. I enjoed it.
Very good movie.
Well, I'm kind of worried I'm going to go back and it doesn't hold up. That is possible.
I don't know. It's a pretty good film.
Did you know George Bush was Skull and Bones? Did you guys know this? It's a real life thing. Yeah. Thank you. But he's really hit his stride in season 5. His character's really good. The last episode I watched, plenty of insufferable cheesiness, as Dawson's Creek is known to have, but he continues to be enjoyable.
Like Pacey never got, I don't know if like the writers knew that he couldn't pull it off, but like Pacey never got involved in a lot of it. Like he didn't play that in that space, the cheese of it all. Like really throughout is pretty consistent.
I'm going to chalk that up to Joshua Jackson working his magic and being like,
he's not that guy.
I'm going to reel this up a bit. And I have to say, you know what, who else is sort of, there's moments, but really actually seems like a real actor on the show now. Jack Kerr-Smith. He's been fantastic. Minus there's like a little time where he's Mr. Frat Bro guy. It's a little like, okay, reel it in. We see what's happening here. We're overdoing it. It's brutal. You get through that though. And
see, but like, I actually, so now you've kind of spoiled it again for me. God, Jesus.
The way you memorize all this, so I figure you just have it all on top of your head.
No, this part of it. So this season, I have to watch it and I go, oh yeah, that's right. But I do, maybe it's just because I remember the frat boy or the frat house sort of storyline, and enjoying it because I thought that was something that you could really tell a story of how Jack kind of went out on his own a little bit.
Second half,
like he became his own sort of dude, and he's going to be in this frat house, but
second half of the frat storyline, it's sort of like, okay, he's back and he's good again. Like, okay, I'll leave it at that.
But it was a way to develop him more than just I'm afraid to be gay kind of, stereotypical. And I get it. Obviously especially back then it was a big deal, but like, let's move him along. Let's
develop the young man.
Yeah. Let's develop a little bit.
Next, the episode I just watched was very enjoyable, around him and Pacey's escapades. Let's just say that. I enjoyed
always fun when they get together. It's so rare.
Always fun.
Yeah. So a couple things about the episode real quick. If you guys are legitimate, if you haven't gotten to where I am, which is basically season 5, episode 6 or 7, right? I am going to spoil something here in the next 5 seconds. So.
Okay.
Dawson's dad. Right?
Yeah.
He passes away. Abruptly, suddenly. It's heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. However, here's what I've learned. So once that happened, I went back into the internets and I started doing some research on this. And the dad requested to be off actually he didn't request. So what was happening was he felt like the adults of the show weren't being developed and weren't really having storylines. And rightfully so. It's a show about teenagers growing up, right?
Right.
So what he did was he asked for an exorbitant amount of money for his next contract for the show. And of course the show's like, no, we're not going to give you that. You're barely even a recurring character. And so what he did was he agreed to be killed off.
So like, we can't afford to pay you. We take all the money from this show to pay Sarah Michelle Gellar.
So they kill him off, which every writer will tell you. All the things I've read about it, they regret the way they did it. They thought it was a total disaster. They did it completely wrong. But yeah, he did make an agreement, which is why he got such the send off, obviously, right? Like he got this whole, we talked about at X Golf, how much you hated it. I thought it was very well done. I want to be clear
because I'm still frustrated. You won't see my side of this at all. I'm frustrated with the execution of it. The principle, the concept is good.
No, but I'm debating the execution. I thought the execution was good.
No,
you're wrong.
It's not.
I thought the execution was good.
James Vanderbeek's 37-year-old ass talking like he's 11 doesn't hit. It seems like there's something wrong with him more than anything.
But that's because you can't put yourself into that place, Bill. That's the fault of you, the viewer.
I'm going back to, I'd either rather see them seeing him and talking to him now, or if they're reflecting back in that time, give me some little kid cast as
right. The scene is is that each character, not Jack, but
I forgot once we went to here, I forgot we were recording the show. I just blacked out and said
Pacey, Dawson, and Joey all have flashbacks of moments they had with Dawson's dad. As younger people. Dawson's was when he was like 11 or 12 and he got the camera. And he does a little 11 or 12-year-old speak.
Not a little. He does a lot.
It's not. Everybody else has a regular sort of moment. Like Pacey learns how to drive. Dawson's dad taught him how to drive, so he's obviously older. But anyways, that's the premise of the flashbacks. And so they have Dawson's dad and then today's character of age, but reliving a moment back in time when they were younger. And that's what we're talking about.
He was 1 second away from saying gee willikers.
Anyway, well, he might say that anyways as Dawson as a 20-year-old.
Very fair point.
Yeah. Anyway, so I kept going down this. Oh, so another little fun fact. Your girl, what's her name? Joey's roommate. We're drawing a blank now.
Aubrey Phillips.
Yeah. She was supposed to be, this really, I feel like supports your whole, how great she is. Cause she is great. She was supposed to be just a one and done character. She was not supposed to have an arc at all or have any sort of thing. She was going to be this one thing, but she was so good. They literally wrote her into the show, moving forward, which I thought was, yeah.
And now look at her.
Yeah, very good. The other thing I found interesting. So Kevin Williamson, who created the show, wrote the show, in real life, he was Jack. Jack's experiences are his. He wrote that character into the show, and he wanted to tell his own story, which I thought was just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it feel a little more real, a little more authentic.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty good. Yeah.
I want to go through your notes because I'm curious. So we don't have to get into Ken Marino shows up. It's supposed to be a heartthrob, but he's dorky, goofy Ken Marino.
Ken Marino, yeah. Right.
Which and I don't mean that negatively. Funny. Like, I don't mind him. I like him. It's fine.
Right.
Highland Park. You have a note?
The drummer.
Highland Park?
Yeah, the drummer says he's from Highland Park, the guy who cheats on Jen. The radio guy. The bass player.
The bass player, yeah, right, the OC kid.
Yeah, he says he's from Chicago, and she's like, where he's from Highland Park, which I thought was pretty fun.
He's definitely struggled. That's why he's out east for college and
what's your shout out to Lucky Magazine? Is that I'm not there yet?
There's a scene you might not be. I think it was Joey. It's like I already forgot. But so again, I'm sitting watching with my wife and Joey, I think it had to be, was laying on her bed reading a bunch of magazines. And as I've covered on our shows before, I grew up in a house with a 6-year older sister and my mom. Right. So all the girl magazines were around our house and and dating girls, dating my wife then at the time, my girlfriend, I knew all those magazines, right? And I was coming of age like at the same time these kids were, and Joey was reading Lucky magazine, and again, my wife was a huge she subscribed to Lucky. It was in her house all the time.
Was it like a teeny bopper magazine? Is that what it was?
No, it was sort of like, do you remember In Style, which is also on the bed, by the way, you'll see. You remember In Style magazine? It was sort of like In Style for sort of like In Style meets Us Weekly for teenagers.
Good Lord.
Maybe like college-ish age. It was fine. But I was like, man, what a time and place. And just weird life collision happening. I just appreciate it. So,
yeah. Okay.
Very nice. Last TV note I need you to cover, because I need to know, Kay Lindell equals Sue Ellen Mischke of the Seinfeld character fame.
Right. So Aubrey Lindell, right? Your favorite character. Kay Lindell is her mom. Kay Lindell shows up in season 5, pays a visit. She's very mean. She's very judgmental. She embarrasses Aubrey over and over again. That is Sue Ellen Mischke from Seinfeld. Same person.
Side note, that Seinfeld episode was another one where Jackie Childs is the lawyer, and he's like, you got to make sure it fits on the skin.
That's like the bra. That's the bra. Right. Yeah. Sue Ellen Mischke, for those that don't watch Seinfeld, go watch it. Yeah. I recognize her. I'm like, that's somebody that I know. And then the more I watched her, I was like, oh my God, that's the heiress to the Mr. Goodbar fortune, Sue Ellen Mischke. Yeah. Yeah, that's the other. I did that again. I did that for another. My wife is watching Married at Sight. Is that what it's called? No, Married at First Sight. I don't know what it is. It's a show on Netflix. They don't see each other.
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Thank you very much.
Big one amongst mine as well. And yeah.
So my wife is watching Love is Blind season 2. It's in Chicago this year. And I'm watching episode 1 with her. And I'm like, I know that. Like, do we know that guy? I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, where do we know this guy? Yeah. I played softball with Kyle from Love is Blind. He was on one of my softball teams back in the day here in Humboldt Park. So
part of me is like, I wonder if I can yell loud enough through the scene and be like, Sarah, guess what?
Yeah, I'll save all the dirt that I have on Kyle for whenever we all hang out.
For a group X golf trip? I wouldn't do that to Zell. Sarah would do it for an excuse to get out, but Zell, I wouldn't put her through it.
She wouldn't do it either.
Good.
Matter.
Smart woman.
Yeah.
All right. This is a lot of this show.
This was
show
quite the show.
Milk talk. It's about 45 minutes of TV talk, swinging microphones around, and oh boy, Kris, what's going on in your world? Anything worth plugging?
I mean, as this episode dropped, the new Golf Stories Volume 1 Secret Tour Pro podcast that Adam and I have co-written and I produced for him has dropped. Episode 1 is out there. So there's that. We're very, very excited about that.
So I knew the Secret Tour Pro story and followed along like every good golf internet guy did. This was another topic we discussed at X Golf.
Yeah.
It's worth it, even if you think you know the story. It's worth listening to these as they come out, because I guarantee you forgot really all of the details and at some point got lost in the whole thing back in the day. So check it out and remind yourself, like, we're talking Saudi golf leagues and all this shit going on right now.
Right.
It's wilder than that. And you forget how it's up there as one of the wilder golf stories in modern times. So it is Secret Tour Pro is a Twitter account. So even if you're not on Twitter, we give context around the whole thing. So you don't necessarily have to be part of Twitter to appreciate it. And there are things that I didn't even know that Adam didn't even know were going on in like real life
with the secret Tour Pro guy that is just pretty crazy. So yeah,
check that out. Is that it? Anything else? Origin stories, or is that taking a break during?
Oh no, it's not. It's not taking a break, but it's we're still hanging on to Augustine Pisa, the golf course architect that I interviewed. So it's still his week, and then the week after that, we'll release a new episode.
Check that out too.
Yeah, we also have another. You have another unboxing. God, you get all the. I told you. It's another unboxing. This time it's a shaft. It's a golf shaft, big time golf shaft.
Oh yes, the one of the maybe. Okay, I won't say anything. I'll let the surprise happen for everybody. But now I know what we're talking about. Head over to drivingrangeheroes.com if you want to read about the new breakthrough golf technology stability.
I saw that
fire shaft. They keep coming out with different colors and change it up a little bit, but this is a fire red one. It's pretty slick. Got it installed in my SICK putter. It's SIK, Study in Kinematics.
Right.
Is that how you say it? I think it's close enough. Go read about that. It's cool. And then along these lines, I'm going to introduce people. I figured, why not introduce everyone to the Bill Bush Putting Emporium? And
that's fun.
As much as we have cool places like X Golf to go to, we're friends with Club Champion. We have everybody's favorite neighborhood golf pro, Phil, and his simulator and his golf course. All these cool things we have access to, but in how serious we take this craft. But at the end of the day, the amount of time for putter related work that happens right outside this door is insane. Yeah. Like it is a critical piece to the whole puzzle for me. So I said, you know what, after all these years, I just talk about it and show people how basic it is and tell them, I don't know, just maybe you'll find it interesting. Maybe you won't. But I feel like it makes me more relatable and human. So that's what I'm here to do.
Which is really what you need. People can't really relate to you at all ever.
I'm such a big time golf guy.
I know. Let's do a new thing. And I think, so we didn't get to it this week, but next week, let's talk about preparing for the oncoming golf season.
Yeah. We had these really 2 nice days of weather.
Yeah.
And you get that feeling like, I mean, I know it's not, I've lived in the Chicago area long enough to know, but then when you look at the forecast for the next week and it's 20 degrees, 22
See, but degrees. If it stays dry through this last cold kind of stint here and then gets warm, it's go time. It just has to stay dry.
I will tell you this, as we're recording, in approximately 2 hours and 3 minutes, a flood warning begins for this area, and it goes till 12 p.m. tomorrow morning. So we have that working in our favor. All
right. Well, I'll say this: if as long as it doesn't, well, it will freeze, I guess. Never mind. But anyways,
I'm being let's just a glass half empty skeptic. I'm sorry from a bad attitude.
Right. Yeah. Figure it out over there. Okay.
I'm gonna figure it out.
If it stays dry the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to hit another 40 to 50 degree day, and it's going to be us out on the golf course,
Can't wait.
And we're going to be playing. So it's time to get ready. And we need to discuss this kind of stuff.
Got to get people set up. Got to get them ready for the year. We'll do this every goddamn season. We will say, hey, season's starting. Don't forget to do these things. Yeah. All right.
That's right. We'll get you going. Right. We'll be your alarm clock to remind you.
Someone has to do it. Might as well be us. Right. That over there, my good patrons of this show, is Kris McEwen at Kris McEwen on the social medias. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is his channel. Please go subscribe. That would mean a lot to us. I'm Bill Bush of DriveRangeHeroes.com, at Range Heroes on all the social medias, and also the #1 microphone handler when you don't want to hear that kind of background noise. This has been That Range Live, episode 107. We appreciate you participating with us this week, and we look forward to speaking with you next week. Goodbye.